work as motor or generator. Configuration, whether it is a motor or generator or type, would remains same. So your machine are divided into either on the basis of the supply. If we broadly classify it, either we define it DC machine or AC machine. Machine which is being supplied by DC supply is DC supply. Machine which is being supplied by AC supply is AC supply. We have already discussed that one winding is always supplied by DC supply, another winding is always supplied by or induces AC in case of generator. Then we are saying that your machine would be supplied by DC supply. If it is working as a motor, it's one winding, both windings would be supplied by DC supply. One winding we have to make certain provision so that we can change the polarity after each half cycle. Means your DC can be converted as AC for that particular section or for that particular winding. Likewise, your DC generator, you requires output DC, whereas in the coil in which your EMF is induced, that is of alternating nature. So how you will get AC? So for that purpose, you requires DC at the output, whereas your coil is inducing AC supply. For that purpose also we have to make certain provision which converts your AC into DC so that at output you get DC. Likewise, in case of AC machine, it requires your one winding requires DC supply, another winding induces AC or requires AC supply. So for that winding which requires DC supply is to be supplied by external source, or certain mechanism is to be made by which we can convert that AC into DC for that particular winding. So we have already discussed whether your machine is AC or DC. We have two windings, field winding, armature winding. Your field winding is for the excitation purpose. Whether your machine is AC or DC, your field winding is always supplied by DC supply. If your machine is AC, certain mechanism is to be made or certain arrangement is to be made by which that AC can be converted into DC for that field winding. Likewise, another winding which carries main current of the machine or load current of the machine. If it is a motor, it requires AC supply. If it is a generator, it induces AC. Means, if you have a DC machine, in case of motor, we requires that your DC can be converted into AC for that particular armature winding. Whereas in case of AC machine, no arrangement is required. We supplies AC or we generates AC. Now, both windings are being available in all AC or DC machine except this portion. This machine didn't have field winding. It only has the armature winding. One thing is clear. Armature winding would be there in all type of machines, whether it is AC or any type of DC machine. Now, DC machines, we know we have two winding, field winding and armature winding. DC machines are further classified as self-excited DC machine and separately excited DC machine. Self-excited DC machines means the machine excitation means field winding is supplied from same source, that is from the armature. For example, this is your armature winding and field winding. You have two windings, armature. Let this be the placed on the stator in case of DC machine, your armature winding is being placed on the rotor winding side, and your field winding is placed on the stator side. On the basis of its connections, it is defined as self-excited DC machines and separately excited DC machines. Means its field winding would be supplied from same source to which armature winding is being connected. For example, in case of motor, it will be supplied from the same source. Both armature and field would be connected with same source. Whether it is a generator, its field winding would be supplied by the EMF induced in the generator. Whereas in case of separately excited DC machine, its field winding is excited by separate source of supply. We have connected with one source, whether it is a motor or generator, and if it is a motor, your DC machine is connected with another source of supply. If it is a generator, load will be connected. Means its field winding would be supplied by a separate source of supply. That would be separately excited DC machine. These self-excited DC machines are further classified into two types on the basis of the connection. We have two windings. On the basis of the connection, these are being divided into three types. DC shunt machine means in which your field winding is connected across the armature. Both are connected in parallel. If it is a motor supplied by certain source, if it is a generator, a load is being connected. Series motor, field winding is connected in series with the armature winding. Means this is connected in series with the armature winding, and if it is a motor supplied by a source, generator, and load is being connected with it. So that type of motor is or machine is known as DC series machine. It may work as a motor as well as generator. DC compound machine means in DC compound machine, some portion of your field winding is connected in series with the armature winding. Rest of the portion will be connected in parallel with the armature. Some portion in series and some portion in parallel. Configuration may be of this type or this type, that depends on the type of machine. So means your DC compound machine is further divided into two types: differential compound machine and another type is cumulative compound machine. If it is a motor, cumulative compound motor, differential compound motor. If it is a generator, cumulative compound generator, differential compound. Means differential compound machines means resultant flux is difference of these two flux. We will connect the winding in such a way that resultant flux would be the difference of these two flux. And in cumulative compound machines, the resultant flux will be the sum of these two flux. So this will be the cumulative compound machine. So these DC machines and your means in case of DC machine, whether it is a shunt, series, compound or separately excited machine, your field winding is placed on the stator side and armature winding is placed on the rotor side. Now come to AC machine. On the basis of the supply, we generally categorized into single phase or three phase. If it is supplied by AC supply, so we will design the machine for the single phase supply. If we have a three phase system, we will design a machine for three phase systems. So your AC machine, whether it is a single phase or three phase, is further classified into induction machine or asynchronous machine and synchronous machine. Synchronous machines which runs at a speed of magnetic field, where F is the frequency, P be the number of poles, and Ns be the synchronous speed. It runs at the speed of magnetic field, 120 F by P, synchronous speed. And induction machine didn't runs at the synchronous speed. If it is a motor, its speed would be lesser than the synchronous speed. If it is a generator, its speed would be greater than the synchronous speed. Likewise, in case of synchronous, if it is a motor, it will run at synchronous speed. If it is a generator, your machine would have to be rotate at that synchronous speed. Your induction machine is further classified into squirrel cage induction machine, in which we have no field winding. In squirrel cage or in case of induction machine, we are not having any field winding. Means no DC supply is required for your induction machine. We have only armature winding, which is being placed on the stator side. In case of induction machine, whether it is a single phase induction machine or three phase induction machine, your armature winding is placed on the stator side. Whereas on the rotor side, we have conductors or coils which are not being connected with any supply, external supply. They are only just short circuited. We place a conductor or we place a coil and we will short circuit it. That is, it's being placed on the rotor side. It may be squirrel cage type. In squirrel cage, it may be single cage or it may be double cage. That depends on the design or configurations of the machine, in which your rotor conductors are being placed, or conductors are being placed on the rotor, which are being short circuited by end rings. You have seen in case of fan, for example, this is the example of the induction motor. In case of induction motor, on the rotor side, you will see lines, and these lines you will find short circuited. You see, it may be aluminium or copper lines. Means these aluminium or copper bars are being die casted in that, and they are being short circuited at both ends. Means if this is the rotor, so these being are die casted and we will short circuit them by end points. No external supply being required. Whereas in case of wound rotor or slip ring induction motor, a winding is placed. In case of three-phase induction, slip ring induction motor, a three-phase winding is being placed, and that winding is being connected with external resistance. If we have to insert, for example, a three-phase winding is being placed on the rotor and that is being connected, that would not be connected by the external supply. That will be connected by some external resistance, which is being used for the starting purpose. Where high starting torque is required, we require the additional resistance, and that resistance is gradually reduced, and ultimately we will short circuit. No supply is being connected. We will have winding which is required to insert external resistance. That is required for develop high starting torque in the machine. And these resistances are being gradually reduced and zero. It means in case of induction machine, whether we have the wound rotor or we have the squirrel cage induction machine, we have the armature winding which is placed on the stator side. We have no field winding, and in place of field winding we have the conductors or coils which are being placed on the rotor sides and which are being short circuited. Or in case of wound rotor, certain external resistance is being connected. For that external resistance may be used for speed variations also, or to provide high starting torque. Synchronous machine. Synchronous machines are further classified into shell and pole types, that is projected pole. Means poles are projected on the rotor in such a way. If we have 4 pole machines, that means 4 poles will be projected. If we have 8 pole machine, 8 poles would be projected. It means poles would be projected. It would be visible, and these machines are low speed, generally being used for low speed turbines. In case of non-shell pole types, we have cylindrical rotor, in which poles are not projected. We have just cylindrical rotors in which in slots the coils are being placed. These are generally being used for high speed turbines. Because the number of poles are lesser, that may be 2, the speed would be very high speed turbines. So, in this also, difference is that in case of single phase machines, synchronous machine, your field winding is placed on the stator side and armature winding is placed on the rotor side. Whereas in case of 3-phase machine, your armature winding is placed on the stator side and field winding is placed on the rotor side. So generally, in industrial application, your DC machine is used as a motor in earlier applications where we require a very good speed control. We generally use it DC machines, and these DC motors are still in existence. They are being used in electrical traction systems. We use DC motors in earlier. Nowadays, as a very good speed regulation can be made or variation can be made in case of induction machine. That's why we started using induction machine. So nowadays, like your metro system is new in Delhi, so we are using induction motors in that, in place of DC motors. Whereas in our earlier traction system, which is being used by Indian Railway, we are using DC motors, and metro is using induction motor due to the development in technology. In most of the industrial applications, your induction machine is used as the motor. In most of the industrial applications, we use it induction motor, and in largely squirrel cage, where a specific application is there, or the machine is to be started on full load, we also use slip ring. But most of the in industrial applications, induction motor. In your household applications, in your fans, your tollu pump, you are using induction motors. Synchronous motor. Your induction machine is also used as a generator in case of wind driven generators. There we use it synchronous generator as well as induction generator. Whereas this is your DC machine is mostly being used as a motor just it is also being used as a generator in case of used as a exciter for the synchronous machines. I will tell how we will use. Synchronous machine is generally used as a generator. As a motor, it is used for specific applications or certain where our speed regulation is required. We require a very good speed regulations. Means the variation in speed from no load to full load should be negligible. So that's why there we use it synchronous motors. But its application is limited. But it is widely used as a generator. In our type of power generation, whether you are using thermal power station, you are using hydro power station, the generator being used, there are synchronous generator. And these generator available at your photocopier shop or your commercial building, they are all are synchronous generator. These synchronous generator, either generator in your commercial building, you will find that your generator is being connected with prime mover, that is your reciprocating engine set. In case of thermal power station, the coal is used to develop the steam, and that steam is being used to run the turbine, and that turbine is being connected with the generator. Like in hydro, the water flow is being used to run the turbine, and with the turbine your generator is connected. Means turbine, synchronous generator, and this is exciter with synchronous generator, exciter. DC machines which is being connected, or you can say DC shunt generator, which is connected to supply the field winding of this synchronous generator. Its field winding is being placed on the rotor side. To supply the field winding, we have connected the DC generator on the same shaft which supply the field winding. Hence, whenever your coil rotates in a magnetic field, it will induce EMF. Whereas in small generator, you would find that there is no exciter in the commercial building. How its coil gets the field winding, DC supply. Your field winding gets the DC supply. In this, whenever this coil is rotated in a magnetic field, certain EMF will be induced due to residual magnetism. And once the EMF is induced, that EMF induced is converted into DC with the rectifier. Means AC into DC conversion is to be made with the help of the rectifier, so that its field winding gets supplied. Once its field winding gets supplied, flux will be developed. Hence, your EMF induced will be increased in such a way that your EMF increased or your field winding supply will be get to the rated supply. In case of single phase synchronous machine, your field winding is placed on the stator side, whereas your armature winding is placed on the rotor side. And in case of three phase, your armature winding is placed on the stator and your field winding is placed on the rotor side. So this is all about the type of machines. So one thing is clear, we have the armature winding in all type of machines. In case of DC machine, it is placed on the rotor side. In case of AC machine, it is placed on the stator side, except single phase synchronous machine. Field winding is always supplied by the DC supply. In case of DC machine, it is placed on the stator side, and in case of AC machine, it is placed on the rotor side. In three phase synchronous machine, placed on the rotor, single phase placed on the stator. In this induction machine, we are not having any type of field winding. No field winding there. In place of field winding on the rotor side, we have the copper bar, or we have the aluminum bar, or we have the coils, or we have the conductors which are short circuited by end rings, or we have the three phase winding which is being used to support construction of DC motor or generator. Whether your machine is a motor or generator, your construction remains same. First part is magnetic frame or yoke. This is the outer part of the body which hold your core, winding, shaft, bearings, which and the whole components of your machine. Basically, this yoke or core or outer body holds the field core, field windings in the body. This one, this holds the pole core and pole shoe. This is the winding which is tightened by certain screw. And this is generally made up of cast iron for small machine, and for large machine it is made of steel, fabricated steel, not fabricated steel, in which it is made of steel and base may be welded by certain welding with high quality welding. It gives the soles two purposes. First, provide the mechanical protection from outside damages. It covers whole of your machine. Another part, it holds your pole core and pole windings and provides path for flow of magnetic flux. Well, this is the made up of, you can say, magnetic material. Second part is pole core, pole shoe. Pole core is made of laminations, steel laminations, and these laminations are riveted through hydraulic press, and this pole shoe is connected with this pole core so that the air gap flux, there will be the uniform distribution of the flux, and it provides the support for the field coil, or this field coil will be held up in the core. Now this pole core and pole shoe are connected through these screws in the yoke of the machine, and this is the field core that may be placed on the former, or that can be wound on a former and being placed on the this pole core. Third part is pole coil or winding. Windings may be wound on certain former and is being placed, generally copper windings are used, are being placed in the pole core and then fixed on this core. These are the pole core on which these windings are being placed. Armature core. As we have already discussed, the field winding is placed on the static part of the machine. In case of DC machine, your field winding is placed on the static part of the machine, and your armature winding is placed on the rotating part of the machine. Your armature core is also made up of steel laminations in which you fabricate, or these slots are cut down, and these laminations are riveted through hydraulic press, and this is the for the key, shaft key, space for shaft key. And this is just a cylindrical rotor in which slots are being cut down. They are generally made of silicone steel lamination or cold rolled grain oriented CRGO silicone steel laminations. Next part is armature winding. Windings are wound on certain former and they are being placed in these slots, in the armature slots. So this is basically the armature, cross-sectional view of the armature, in which these slots has been shown, in which the windings are placed. Next part is commutator. This is the important part of the motor. As we have already discussed that your armature winding is supplied by AC supply or it generates AC. Whereas our input source is DC. So the system or device which converts your DC into AC in case of motor, and in case of generator it generates AC. That AC can be is required to be converted into DC. That function is formed or is done by this commutator. Commutator is made up of these wedge-shaped segments which are insulated with each other. There are a number of segments. This shape would be like this. Its shape would be like this. It is made of number of these wedge-shaped segments which are insulated with each other by certain insulating material, mica, and each conductor is being connected with each segment. So that we are discussing that after a rotation of half cycle, direction should be changed. So these are the, you can say, segments, commutator segments. This will be the same. These are the commutator segments which are separated by certain insulating material. This line is the insulator. And so that we can obtain we would able to convert AC into DC or DC into AC. We will discuss later on how we will convert. This will convert AC into DC, DC into AC. This is generally made up of copper. These are the copper segments. Then bursage. This is being placed on the rotating part, on the shaft of the machine. This is to be fixed on the shaft of the machine. Now, to make connection of this armature winding with the external stationary circuit, these bursaes are used. These slips over these commutator segments. These carbon bursaes will slip over. These are the carbon bursaes. Will slip over these commutator segments, and through these connections are made from the external circuit. External stationary circuit, they are being connected, so that if the DC is given, this commutator segment will convert that DC into AC to the armature winding. Generally, these are on the shaft of the machines, which makes the connection between these stationary part with the rotating part, so that there would be the minimum frictional losses would be minimum. Shaft is generally which holds your armature core and windings, and commutator segment and generally made of mild steel with high breaking strength. End covers. After fixing all the things, this yoke has been covered with the end covers. Hence may be connected for the cooling purpose for the large machines, and this is the arrangement of the. Generally, if you see this, most of the part would remain same in all type of machines. For example, yoke would remain same, armature core would remain same, and rest of the parts would change. So this is the overall construction of induction motor. Like your DC motor, induction motor is also two parts. One is static part, another is rotating part. In static part of the machine, we have the yoke or frame of the machine. Again, it supports the armature core and protect the machine from outside damage as well as gives the path for flow of magnetic flux. Generally, your yoke or magnetic frame is made up of either cast iron for low rating machine or steel for high rating machines. Armature core, which is being fixed in the yoke or magnetic frame of your induction motor, this core is made up of laminations, silicon steel laminations, in which slots are being casted, die casted, so that the windings, armature windings can be placed. If it is a single phase machine, single phase winding is being placed. If it is a three phase machine, three phase winding is placed. Third part is armature winding. Armature winding generally made up of copper is being placed on these armature slots. Second part is rotating part, and first is rotor. On the basis of rotor, this machine is of two types. One is squirrel cage induction motor, slip ring induction motor. In squirrel cage induction motor, your core is made up of silicon steel laminations in which slots are being cut down. Or we die cast the aluminium or copper conductors in these armature slots. These rotor slots in this way. These are slots, and these conductors, this is the conductor, like a line is indicated by either they are die casted and conductors are being placed in these slots and they are short circuited by end rings. One end of these conductors is short circuited, another end of these conductors are short circuited. Means they are connected with each other. Likewise here we have to make the provision to short circuit it. Another is slip ring or wound rotor. Three phase winding is being placed in these rotor slots in your slip ring induction motor, which is these windings are either short circuited, or when an external resistance is to be connected, these windings are to be connected with external resistances. Rotor winding, either conductors are being placed in the rotor slots, or they are die casted, or three phase windings, these coils are being placed in these slots, and these coils may be connected in star, generally connected in star, so that they may be connected with external resistance. And these armature core, these rotor cores is also made up of laminations, and they are riveted through hydraulic press, and this is of generally cylindrical shape. Shaft on which holds your armature core and winding, generally made up of mild steel having high braking strength. Bearings, like in your DC motors, reduces the frictional losses between your static and rotating part. Fan, generally connected with the same shaft of the machine on which the rotor is connected, and the purpose of this light fan is to cool down the windings of the machine. Slip rings and carbon bursage. In case of squirrel cage, no slip ring is required, no carbon bursage are required, but in case of slip ring induction motor, where we place the winding on this armature core, so on the same shaft of the machine we have three slip ring, copper rings. In case of three phase we have three, in case of single phase we have two, these rings. They are being placed on the copper rings, which are being insulated with each other by certain insulating material with each other and with the shaft. And to these slip rings, your rotor winding are being connected. Terminals of the rotor windings are connected. We have 3 terminals of rotor windings. To make connection with the external circuit, because in wound rotor induction motor or slip ring induction motor, generally windings are being placed to connect it with the external resistance, and to make its connection with stationary external circuit, carbon burshes will slip over these rings. These are rings. These carbon burshes would slip over this, so that there will be the connection between rotating part and external stationary circuit. Pins and covers. To cover up the machines on both the sides, which holds your bearings. Covers will hold your bearings and shaft of the machine. So basically, these constructions of these rotors, stators, windings will more or less remain same for single phase as well as for 3-phase induction motor. Only there will be the change in the configuration of this winding. In case of single phase, we will have 2 windings, that is for the single phase machines, and in case of 3-phase, we will have 3 windings, 3 phase. Their applications as a motor is selected. More or less construction would remain same whether the machine is motor or generator. Its stator part is same as in case of motor. Same yoke, core, field, armature core, armature windings. These parts remain same. Only difference in synchronous generator is in the construction of their rotor. On the basis of the construction of the rotor, this is of 2 types: salient pole types, non-salient pole type. In salient pole type, where poles are projected, it is defined. For example, this is 6-pole machine. It indicates 6 poles. If it is 8-pole machine, it will indicate 8 poles. So these poles would indicate the number of poles of the machines. Generally, these type of rotors are being used for low speed turbines, where speed of the turbine is low. Another type is non-salient pole types or cylindrical rotor. This is just like the induction rotor, in which field winding is placed. Because in case of synchronous machine, the field winding is placed on the rotor side. Field windings are found on these rotor slots or on these poles, and they are being supplied by DC supply. So generally these cylindrical rotors are being used for high speed turbine. They are generally used for 2-pole machines or 4-pole machines. The windings are being placed, field winding is placed in these rotor slots. Shaft, same, mild steel, made up of mild steel, bearings, fans, slip rings and carbon bursage. How many slip rings would be used? Here on the rotor side, we place the field winding, and field winding is supplied by DC supply. So here we would require only 2 slip rings and 2 carbon bursage to make connection of the field winding with the external stationary circuit, by which you can provide the DC supply to to the field winding. In these rotor slots, there are certain windings are being placed. These rotated. These are known as damper winding. Purpose of these damper winding to maintain the speed or to avoid the fluctuation in the speed in case of generator, or to maintain the voltage balance, and in case of motor this damper winding is being used to make the machine self-start. Rest of the parts of the machine would remain same as in case of the induction motor. Only change it, in place of 3 we use 2 carbon switch and 2 slip rings and 2 carbon switch. And in case of this rest of part would remains same.